Good morning, students, and today I will start topic that is hypothesis. First, generally hypothesis means assumptions, and is an assumption made by any observer, researcher to elucidate. To elucidate means to explain his idea or particular issues, particular fact, or which gives basic ideas or basic theory, basic different types of assumptions for uh, future investigation. And it says that a researcher thinks that the outcome of the study will be particular in area. These are the just outcome after particular study or area that may be true partly or fully. And thus researcher makes hypothesis or assumptions, collects data to prove or to give some support to the his or her idea and a hypothesis. That may be perfectly true or false. And thus, uh, generally hypotheses are essential to all different types of research area with possible outcomes. And therefore, as per I will first I have already explained about the meaning. That is, a hypothesis is an assumption. Here shown hypothesis is what? Assumptions made by the observer or researcher to explain his or her idea, to explain a particular fact, or which gives some basic for future investigation. And therefore, as per the definition of Webster Dictionary, next is definition of by Webster Dictionary, hypothesis is an important unproved theory. Important word is unproved theory or proposition. Unproved theory or proposition, or any basic, generally tentatively accepted to explain certain facts or to provide basics for future investigation or any argument. This is the definition as per Webster Dictionary. In exam, we'll ask you what is the definition. You can write this. You can write this. That is a unproved theory or proposition or supposition tentatively accepted certain facts or to provide basis or for further. This is the just definition as per Webster's dictionary. Okay. Thus, hypothesis is the assumption to give made by any observer or researcher to explain a particular fact. Then definition of hypothesis. Next is what are the required particular key points for formulation of hypothesis. Hypothesis is the initial stage. Okay, we will make some statement or assumption. Okay, to prove some part that may be correct or incorrect, and these are the main elements for formulation of hypothesis. I'll take one by one. First is identification of research problem. Point number first is identification of research problem and its causes. And in this case, the researcher must identify the research problem, which is his interest or her interest, and therefore also she needs to identify particular reason for such problem. That reason may be, suppose now I'll take in the example of in our daily life. So, are you using a non-smartphone? Anyone, please give me answer. Now you are using smartphone with all features, generally recording, then with camera for a particular pixels, then different types of apps, advanced apps. Can you take mobile without any advanced feature? Yes or no? Hello student, can you take? No. Because in this modern era, we need smartphone. We need smartphone. Okay. Therefore, we will buy any electronic gadget with advanced feature. And therefore, we can say that the decline in sales of a phone without advanced feature. And for that, we will make statement, and for that, we will find out the different types of reasons. And that reasons may be poor quality of product, maybe higher price, maybe not compatible with our modern uh, problems or technologies, or again different types or fall of networks. These are the different kinds of reasons. Okay, and next is formulate the hypothesis. That is formulate the assumptions based on that may be based on your previous study or any uh, discussion with different types of research personnel. Then next is see, first is what identification. We will say identification. Second is formulate any assumptions based on your ROA, that is the review of literature or discussion with any experts. Then pilot test of hypothesis. Generally, pilot test means that is the study of small part, a study of small research area. That is generally referred to as pilot study. Then select the best hypothesis. And there are generally two hypotheses, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. I will explain in detail at the at that particular point. Then select the hypothesis means we should select best hypothesis for generally for and basis on the previous point, that is the pilot study. See, hence we will select best hypothesis based on pilot study. Okay. Then next point is conduct the research. Means after formulating the uh, best hypothesis based on null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, then you can proceed to conduct research. Okay, and therefore we will we will make one research plan to conduct our uh, research in proper direction, and we will propagate that research. We should collect data, we will analyze, we will draw conclusion based on the different types of tests like chi-square, z-test, ANOVA, regression analysis, etc. So in conduct of the research, first we will make proper plan, research design plan. based on our assumption, and we will use different modern or advanced statistical tool to prove our hypothesis. Then next is acceptance or rejection of hypothesis. In acceptance and rejection of hypothesis, that based on the different types of testing, then peer review, a review of our study with standard data or with experts. Okay, therefore these are the uh, main elements for formulation of hypothesis. Again, I will review. First, identify research problem and its reasons. Then formulate hypothesis. Make pilot study. Again, pilot study means small uh, part of study. Take a small part of area and test that. Then select best hypothesis based on your previous point, that is a pilot study. Then conduct the research and acceptance or rejection. You can accept or reject. Okay, these are the main elements to formulate hypothesis. Okay, then these are the main elements. Just I will go. These are the elements. Just I will take small. In case of identification, you should identify research problems which needs to be studied. Also, you should find cause of a particular problem. Example, I have already explained about in case of e-vehicle, why there is increase in sales of e-vehicle. Then you can note down possible causes of increase in sales of vehicle, maybe due to the advanced feature. We can reduce pollution. We can reduce global warming. Then, or also to stabilize for stabilization of our economy. These are the maybe different causes. Then, in case of formulation of hypothesis based on your ROA, that is a review of literature or a discussion with different types of expert, you can note down your own hypothesis. Okay. Again, in terms of vehicle, you can write why there is increase in the sales in a vehicle, or you can write decrease in the sales of a particular mobile company due to the non-advanced features. You can note down. Then pilot study, I have already explained. This is the small sample responders are selected, and based on data, we will conduct our pilot study means small study, and this may help to select best hypothesis for the purpose of our future investigation. Then next is hypothesis. Select best hypothesis based on our pilot study. There are two types of hypothesis: null, alternative. Null means there is no relationship between two or more variables. Alternative means relationship between two or more variables. Next is formulation of hypothesis. In case of formulation of hypothesis under the conduct the research, based on our selection of final hypothesis, we should prepare our research design, research plan, research activities. We should complete our research activities within our stipulated time using the advanced analytical techniques and advanced statistical techniques. And lastly, part is acceptance or rejection. And acceptance or rejection is based on our selection of hypothesis. After testing the hypothesis, uh, we may reject null hypothesis or accept alternative hypothesis. Okay, and these are the basic elements for formulation of hypothesis. Now, um, after this, I will explain about the sources of hypothesis. Thank you, Arshal. Thank you, Sandesh. Yes. Now, what are the sources of hypothesis? What are the sources of assumption? Okay. Generally, these are the sources of assumption or our basic idea or our hypothesis. I explain one by one. First is intuition or curiosity. Second one is past research. Third one is consultations. Next is observation. Then continuity of research. What are the different types of culture? Maybe positive or negative. Then what are the theoretical basic essential theoretical parts or theory? And last one is personal experience. These are the uh, sources of hypothesis. I will explain one by one. Okay. In case of sources of hypothesis, these are the general idea. First, I will explain intuition or curiosity. In this case, a person may get different types of idea to develop our assumption or to develop our hypothesis. Okay, you can make any idea. Okay, means examples. What I'll give example. E-vehicle. All these based on electric vehicle. Example, electric vehicle proposed by say Tesla. Okay, based on the basic properties of electricity. You can write your any idea based on your curiosity as well as based on your previous study. Okay. Second point is past research. Your sources of hypothesis generally based on findings of your previous study, previous your knowledge or uh, your hypothesis during the discussion of any expert. And based on that, you can easily frame your best hypothesis, maybe null or alternative. Okay, means example, I'll give a researcher will find the increase in the price of e-vehicle based on the increase or sudden rise of sales of e-vehicle. Or you can say that there is a decline of particular mobile company sales due to the non-advanced feature. You can write based on your previous study, based on your previous knowledge. Okay, that is under the category of past research or past knowledge, past review of literature or study. Next point is consultations. You can take any help from any expert. You can make different types of discussions with your friends, with your experts, You can review different types of articles related to your hypothesis. And therefore, researcher can hold discussion with different organizations, different experts to develop his or her hypothesis. I'll say in paint industry, there are different types of paint technologies, paint companies like ICC, then Asian Paints, different. And based on the different criteria, different environmental conditions, they will make proper paint based on the different properties. In academics, we will find out the generally student can take help from his or her mentor because of his knowledge, because her knowledge of own subject. Okay, that research may be commercial as well as academic. Commercial research means what? Uh, commercial research means you can convert your idea into product, well-defined application-oriented product. Okay, say in case of suppose if you have any idea, example to for making of any small bulb, and based on that small bulb, you can make bulb with high voltage, bulb with high voltage, high intensity of light. Means you can convert your basic small idea into product. That is a commercial idea. You can make money. You can make different types of IPR, intellectual property. Okay, and for that you can take any help from any experts, any research organization, any industry. Okay, or if you want to launch your product, you should take help from different types of market manager. Okay, if you want to do social work, so you can take help from NGO, different types of non-government organizations, okay, or social work. These are the under the category of consultation. Then observation. In case of observation, you can easily develop your own hypothesis, null or alternative, based on your observation, continuous observation, 24/7 observation. Okay, means you can easily study different types of patterns, different types of sales pattern, different types of buying patterns. Okay, different types of political patterns, different types means decrease in popularity of particular party, increase in the popularity of particular party. I will not mention. Increase in the particular modern what is the increase in the modern technology in particular area only. Now we are generally here, all here we are trying to we are we are going towards green technology, means trying to uh, trying to reduce pollution. Means we are trying to develop new inventions, new methods for that to decrease pollution. Okay, by decreasing importing of different fossils, volatile products like that. Means in case of COVID-19, that we are trying to use different types of technology, different types of methods to uh, to minimize the impact of that particular virus, and all this based on our observation. In medical industry, we will develop a particular types of medicine, particular types of antivirus based on the different types of techniques as well as different types of testing. Okay, and we will increase our health life. Okay, and these are the under the category of observation. We will make a proper observation to prove our hypothesis. based on that, we will accept none or alternative. Next is due to the continuity of research, we will carry out different types of research, day-night research, for several numbers of years, and we will divide our complicated research, complex parts of research into different parts, different small parts, different small area, and each area in small phase, uh, we will try to note down different types of findings based on the best hypothesis for further investigation. This is about the continuity of research. Next is culture. Culture is very, very important part. If you want to do proper research, you should adopt proper culture, proper research environment. You should visit different types of research organization. You should consult research expert. You should visit different techno-savvy industries, and you should develop our own culture, our own research culture to formulate hypothesis for a particular research problem, to find out different causes, and for that, culture is very important, very, very important part of our particular research problem. Okay, and therefore, for this case, we should study for proper system, proper different types of values, proper geographical location, as well as proper education system, proper education organization, to fulfill our hypothesis. Okay, to find out a proper outcome. And for this case, we should select proper culture. You should adopt proper research culture for a particular best hypothesis. Yes. Next point is theory. In theory, and all these are your hypotheses, if you want to make proper validity, you should study or you should research proper theoretical part or logical analysis of your hypothesis. And if you are going for new hypothesis, if hypothesis must be valid, if the theory holds true, you should do logical analysis of a particular area. If you are doing market research of a particular product, you should do a logical analysis without any biasing. You should use effective management tools to facilitate your higher productivity. And last part of sources of hypothesis is personal experience. And personal experience is a very important basis of hypothesis. All these during your research, you will get different types of responses from different area, different expert, different research organization, and therefore, on the basis of personal experience, you should change your plan of action. You should take this immediately decision within short span of time. Understood? And may say in during COVID-19, there are different types of problem, shortage of mask, then hand wash, then Savlon, different types of solutions to clean different parts, body parts, different areas, shortage of different types of tools. Okay, and for that, you should take, or due to that, maybe due to the shutdown of different types of industries, means for shortage of skilled person, shortage of medical skilled person, or shortage of proper doctors, and therefore you should, and based on that, you should develop your conclusion, that is the poor quality of services of a particular government in particular state officials. And based on that, you can uh, draw your conclusion or hypothesis based on your personal experiences. Okay, and these are the sources of hypothesis. Again, I will take summary of sources of hypothesis. I already explained the intuition or curiosity. Past research, you should take consult your research area with experts. 24 by 7 observation. You should continuity of research. 25 by 7 number of years you should do. You should proper orientation your should be towards your research. You should adopt proper culture. Your hypothesis should be based on proper theory and personal experience. Based on your personal experience, you should immediately change your uh, plan of action. Then POC, that is the point of contact, you should immediately change to to define your best hypothesis or to find out your best outcome of your research problem as well as different types of hypothesis. And this is about sources of hypothesis and formulation of a hypothesis. In case of formulation of hypothesis, we learn, I already explained about the what is the meaning of hypothesis, then the definition of hypothesis based on Webster dictionary, that is the unproved theory, proposition, supposition that tentatively accepted to explain certain facts or certain area to provide basis of further investigation. Then we learn about the formulation of hypothesis based on identification of research problem. Then formulate hypothesis, pilot study, select best hypothesis based on null, alternative, conduct the research. Then acceptance or rejection. And in case of sources of hypothesis, we learn about the intuition, past research, consultation, observation, continuity of research. We should adopt proper culture, research culture, theory part, theory and personal experience. And based on that, you can modify, you can change your POC, point of contact, as well as plan of action. Okay, this is about the hypothesis meaning and uh, main elements to formulate hypothesis and sources of hypothesis. Yes, any doubt of this level or any query or any suggestion? I will share all these recording as well as this PPT with you. Don't worry. Don't write anything. If you have any query, you can raise. Okay. Now, what are the importance? What are the importance of hypothesis? And the first is helps to explore unknown. First is explore unknown fact is the important. Hence, using Bayesian hypothesis is used to explore, to expand, to enhance our knowledge. And the hypothesis provides the researcher with the most efficient different type of technical tools, different of tools for exploring our knowledge or explaining the unknown facts. And thus, it stimulates, it enhances the researchers for further research study. This is the important part of hypothesis. Then, uh, second part is enable to prepare research design. Important part enables to prepare research design. The based on hypothesis is used to prepare our research design, research plan, research objectives. Then how we can easily make how we can easily prepare a design. What are the data requirements? What are the different types of technique for data collection? What are the tests and tools to analyze the data? Okay, means suppose in electric vehicle, first we will write our objective is what our India's objective is what to minimize our import, then to minimize our temperature level, global warming, to reduce carbon content. Then we will, based on that, we will select particular geographical area. Then we will say data requirement. What is the data? What are the different types of component required to make that a particular vehicle? Then what are the different types of data collection? We will take different types of survey, existing survey of different types of two-wheeler, four-wheeler, heavy car, light vehicle car. And for that, we will use different types of tests as well as different types of tools to analyze our research data. Next is identifies the need for data. Identifies need for data, and a hypothesis specifies the need of data. Why we need particular data? Whether research will require primary data or secondary data. And therefore, based on that, we will enable to collect our required data. Without hypothesis, that is a without hypothesis, we cannot collect proper data. We cannot make proper analysis or importance of data. Okay. Therefore, first, based on our hypothesis, we will find proper data based on our. Next is sources of data. Sources of data. So again, important part. We should collect right data from right source. And therefore, hypothesis also specifies the proper source of data, proper survey, online, offline, proper experimentation, proper observation. We should take help from different types of experts, different types of expertise organization, library. We should read different types of articles, reports. We should use wired, wireless network, internet, etc. We should use proper advanced technology. And based on that, we will collect relevant source of data and which will help to enable or to complete our proper research within stipulated time. Okay. Next is development of theory and principle. Again, next important point, development of theory and principle. Hypothesis also enable to develop theory as well as principles. Okay. And say means first, say we will, I'll take example of again, vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine. All these are based on our basic research using different types of sciences, different types of tools. We can easily develop. But before that, we should collect proper data from different part of the world. And based on that, we will make our product based on our research. There are different types of vaccines, Covishield, Covaxin, Sputnik, Madonna, and all are our main purpose is what? To minimization or to low down impact of virus. And you should use, for that, you should use basic principles and basic theoretical models. Okay. Means again, we can use different types of, do you know about the casino theory, John Nash theory, based on economics? Then what are the 14 principles of management by Henry Ford, which state that practicing these 14 principles in an organization results into enhancing organizational efficiency. We use different types of theoretical models to enhance our efficiency. We will find, we will make money, we will enhance our profit, we will minimize our loss using basic principles of management by, or we can easily enhance our efficiency of any organization by 14 principles of management by Henry Ford. Next is provide specific direction. Again, important point. Which provides hypothesis. When hypothesis is finalized, that may be null or alternative. Null means no relation. Alternative means relation between two or more variables. And when hypothesis is finalized, a definite or specific direction, and therefore we will get the proper outcome. And it may makes way to the progress of investigation, progress of research. Without any hypothesis, we cannot focus laser like beam. We cannot focus our research problem, our research outcome. Means you should do your research work in proper direction. You should do your research work, your research plan, your research actions in a proper or in a specific direction to fulfill, to complete your, to your hypothesis, to prove your hypothesis. Next is prevents blind research. Based hypothesis, that which is this based on your pilot study, then selection of your alternative and or null hypothesis, which prevent blind research. And best hypothesis, selection of your best hypothesis, which gives the right path of research, which distinguishes between the scientific and unscientific inputs. And it acts like a guide, and which gives the accuracy and precision in possible way to your best hypothesis. And therefore, thus hypothesis prevents blind research. That is, the hypothesis gives the proper path of research, which distinguishes between the scientific as well as unscientific facts. And using proper hypothesis, we will find our accurate result with precise value. And thus, hypothesis, best selection of hypothesis prevents blind research. And last part is very important point, that is economics. Economics is again an important part of any research area, and development of proper hypothesis in any research area is economical. It saves time, our money, our time of skill per person, our the different types of energy, electrical energy, our mental energy of researcher. And because due to the proper selection of best hypothesis in, and also the study or your work in the right specific direction, right direction, which provides proper data selection from proper source, which gives relevant as well as correct data, information, intelligence by researcher to properly formulate the best hypothesis that may be null or alternative, and which proves resource saving. And this is the important part, that is the economical development of any organization. And these are the importance of hypothesis. Okay. Helps to explore an unknown fact, enable research design, identify the need for data, sources of data. You should develop proper theory as well as principles. You should work in proper direction. Don't do blind research. And very, very important for part of any area is economics. Okay, that is which, and based on this, a selection of best hypotheses, we will enhance our economical environment of any organization. And these are the important parts of our hypothesis. To explore unknown facts, make proper research design, proper data from proper source, development of theory principle. You should work in right direction, don't do blind research, and if we can easily enhance our economic, we can easily increase efficiency as well as economical development of our organization. These are the importance. Next is, what are the types of hypotheses? Next part. Yes, any doubt up to this level? Please write in chat box. Yes, dear student, any doubt up to this level? Can I proceed? Okay, thank you, Mitali. Harshal, thank you so much. Okay. Next is types of hypothesis. There are different types: simple, complex, directional, non-directional, null, alternative, then causal, associative, and testable. Okay. Uh, then see, first I will explain about the simple hypothesis. Okay. In case of simple hypothesis, there are basically 2 points. That is, one dependent variable and one independent variable. One dependent variable generally referred to as dv, and one independent variable denoted by idv. Therefore, see, can you tell me what is the relation between unemployment and crime? Can you tell? Okay. If there is higher unemployment, and then there will be the higher rate of crime in our society. Therefore, the relation between the unemployment and crime is what? If there is higher unemployment, then there will be the higher rate of crime, direction proportional. And therefore, in case of simple hypothesis, there are 2 types. One dependent variable means dv, and one independent variable means idv. Okay, this is our simple hypothesis. Similarly, lower the use of fertilizers, lower would be the agriculture productivity. Higher the poverty in the society, higher would be the rate of crime. Same. Next is complex hypothesis. In case of complex hypothesis, it reflects the relationship between 2 or more dependent variable dv, or 2 or more independent variable, that is idv. Means example, higher the poverty, or economic level leads to the higher rate of illiteracy in our society, or higher would be the rate of crime. Means one independent variable is related to the different types of dependent variable. Lower use of fertilizer or modern technology, lower would be the agriculture productivity. Next is directional hypothesis. What is the meaning of directional hypothesis? See, in complex hypothesis, it reflects the relation between two or more dependent variable or two or more independent variable. In case of directional hypothesis, is a prediction made by researcher regarding positive or negative change or relationship or difference between two variables of population. This prediction is typically based on the past research, accepted theory, different types of histories, extensive experiences, or literature on the topic. That is the directional hypothesis again is what is the prediction made by researcher regarding positive or negative change. Next is non-directional. In case of non-directional hypothesis, this form of hypothesis is used in studies where there is no sufficient past research. There is no sufficient past available on which the prediction can be made about the relationship between variables. Say like example of COVID-19 vaccine. And all did generally based upon non-sufficient past research. And it does not stipulate the direction of the relationship. It is the statement that a relationship exists between two variables without predicting the exact direction of the relationship. That is, say, we can say the COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, and that effect of COVID-19 vaccine, impact of that, merits and demerits are generally related to non-directional. And next is null hypothesis. Null hypothesis is the hypothesis that proposes no relationship or difference between two variables. It involves statement that there is no relationship between two groups that the researcher compares on a certain variable, and it is denoted by H0. Null hypothesis H for hypothesis and 0 for null. H for hypothesis, 0 for null. Null hypothesis means no relationship between any variable. That is, there is no relationship between the poverty and crime. There is no difference between academic performance of students and quality of teacher, quality of academics notes, or participation of extracurricular activity. That is related to null hypothesis. Next is alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis. This hypothesis proposes a relationship between two or more variables. There is the relationship between poverty and crime. That is the example of alternative. There is the difference between the relation between academic performance of students and quality of teacher, or participation of extracurricular activities or academic activities, or involvement of students in different types of academic activities, which will affect on their academic performance. That is related to alternative hypothesis. Okay, and that denoted by H over. Okay. Next is causal hypothesis. Next part is causal hypothesis proposes a cause, the reason, and effect of that a particular reasons. That is the interactions between the two or more variables. Means causal hypothesis generally proposes cause and the relation between two or more variables, different types of factors, which predicts the effect of independent variable and the dependent variable. That is the participation of students in different extracurricular activities. Okay, so if students are investing their time in extracurricular activities, that will affect on their academic performance. Means which leads to a grade to get low grades if they are involving in extracurricular activities other than academic activities, then they will get low grade. Okay, that is the causal reasons. And next is second last is associative hypothesis. In case of associative hypothesis, generally which aim to determine the relationship between different types of variables. They do not indicate cause as well as effect. They do not. And last is testable hypothesis. In case of C, again I will repeat. In case of associative hypothesis, this hypothesis aim to determine if uh, the relationship exists between a set of variables and do not indicate any cause, any reason and effect. And last is testable hypothesis. In case of testable hypothesis, uh, this hypothesis predicts the relationship between the independent variable and dependent variable. And these variables are testable or feasible. Then these are the which gives the relationship between dependent as well as independent variable. That is about the testable hypothesis. And dear students, these are the types of hypothesis: simple, complex, directional, non-directional, null, alternative, causal, associative, and testable. And just okay, yes, understood this level. Okay, thank you, Mitali. Thank you, dear all. Thank you so much. Okay, and next lecture I will take last part of this unit, that is sampling. Okay. If you have any query, you can write in this chat box or you can share via our WhatsApp group. Okay. Thank you, dear student. Thank you so much. I will.